So I have a question for you, and it is, how do you measure experience, especially when it comes to a real estate agent or brokerage? Now, the reason I ask this is, in the last couple of weeks, if you've paid any attention at all to the news, you have seen one headline after the next that spells doom and gloom. Now, the reason I ask about experience specifically is one simple question. And if you don't know who I am before I get into that question, my name is Christian Stubbs. I'm a team leader and owner of Onyx Homes. And this channel here is all about Orange County, where we just want to share with you as much information as possible so that if you are thinking about making a move, maybe you can make that a little bit easier. So the question on experience is, would you rather work with somebody who maybe has 30 years of experience, but hasn't done any business in the last maybe 30 days, let's say, if I'll be generous, versus on the other side is maybe somebody that has 3 years experience, but has done a deal a day for the last 30 days? Who would you rather choose? And the reality is, especially when it comes to these types of news headlines, if you are not in the market day to day and almost sometimes hour by hour, it is really hard to keep up with what is actually going on. Now, one of the biggest benefits that we have as a team of agents, we have 60 plus agents that are all doing deals and openly communicating about what's actually happening, because we're an actual team. And what ends up happening is every single week when we get together as a team, we talk about what are the conversations and experiences we're having with other agents. So here's what we're actually seeing right now, and this is for real experience. And I have some actual crazy stats in the last 30 days. Now, this is where I want to share this because this is where what I'm sharing with you is actually coming from. In the last 30 days, and you might be one of these, our agents on our team have had 2,000 conversations, and we track everything. And that means that we've had actual conversations with buyers and sellers, 2,000 of them just in the last 30 days. So that's where this is coming from. Now, what we're hearing are really a one-sided conversation. Now, news headlines, if you're not watching and you're not paying attention, the stock market is taking a beating, and it's like a jumping bean. It's going up and down and up and down and up and down. And every day there's a different reason why it's going up and a different reasons why it's going down. And I'm not going to get into politics, but that's what's happening. There's tons of speculation going on in the overall economy, the stock market. Now, how does that actually affect the real estate market? Well, the reality is, I talked about this on last week's video, is that stocks and real estate are loosely connected, but not really. But the summary of that last video was the real estate market moves, meaning values, move based on supply and demand, versus the stock market, the money markets move, generally speaking, based on speculation of what is likely to happen. So real estate, supply and demand, the more buyers, the higher prices, the less buyers, the lower prices. And the stock market, yes, it moves off of supply and demand, but most people are making speculative moves, meaning the stock market will move in anticipation with what is likely to happen, versus real estate being different. So that was what we talked about last week. So when it comes down to experience, here's what we're actually hearing in the field, is we are hearing a lot of buyers that are taking 2 steps back, and they're saying, hold on a second, I'm seeing all these scary headlines. I want to see what happens. And we have seen over the last 10-ish days from when I'm filming this, and maybe 20-ish days from when you actually see this, that we have seen this little gap where a certain percentage of the market has taken a few steps back to see what's going to happen. Now, what is that percentage of the market? I have no idea, but if I was to guess, it might be 25 to 40% of the active buyers out in the marketplace have taken a quick little step back just to see what's actually going on. And the other buyers that are actually in the market, they've all realized that we've been in a very competitive market. If you look at national news headlines, real estate's slow, real estate's this. Well, in Southern California, it's not. And specifically in Orange County, it's not slow. You can even go one county over. So if you were looking in the Inland Empire, for example, it is on average taking 2 months to sell a home. To whereas in Orange County, it's taking 2 weeks to sell a home and going faster. While as one county over in Riverside, it's actually getting longer. So hyper local, what is actually going on is more important now than it ever has been, especially when Orange County's market is so different from what we're seeing on news headlines. So like I mentioned, we are seeing somewhere between 25 and 40, if I was totally guessing, percent of buyers taking a step back. That is this creating this little window of opportunity for the buyers that are stepping in. They're seeing that, okay, I see these headlines, I'm watching my, hope maybe not too much, watching my 401k and stock market and all that fun stuff, but looking at, hey, I still want to move, I need to move, I want to upgrade, I want to stop renting, whatever the reason is for the actual move, and they're saying, I'm not going to let this put me on the sidelines. I'm just going to go out and move. So what we're seeing is we're seeing maybe 1 or 2 fewer buyers per property. Whereas we, on almost all listings that look good, priced right, and are marketed well, we were seeing multiple offers and almost every single one of them. And now we're seeing that in the last 10 days, mind you, we are seeing that not every single house that looks good, priced right, marketed well is getting multiple offers. So on one side of the conversation, we are talking with some buyers who are taking a few steps back to watch and see what's going on. Those buyers that are taking a step back, a lot of them are thinking that prices might plummet down because sellers are just going to sell and panic. So that's what one side of the conversation. Now the opposite side of the conversation, I asked we were in the office meeting last week, and I asked our 60 agent team, hey, of the 2,000 conversations we've had in the last 30 days, how many sellers are we talking to right now that are panic selling because they think prices are going to drop? And no surprise here to me, 0 of our agents have had any conversations with sellers that are panic selling because of prices. Our sellers are saying that are putting their house on the market said, maybe I'll wait 1 more week to put it on the market. But we are not seeing, not to say there's not, we are not at all seeing a panic sell by any stretch of the imagination, which is what a lot of these buyers that are taking a step back are actually doing. So the real reason that I shared this is going to be a very short window. And I talk about windows of opportunity all the time. The last one was this last winter. There was a small one. The biggest window of opportunity we've seen was really in the last 2 years ago, was winter, when we saw prices pull back a little bit right before they shot back up. So this window of opportunity here is where there's still a lot more inventory coming to the market. We're still below where we need to be, but we're above where we've been. So there's more homes to choose from for buyers. That's number one window. Number two is that if 25 to 40% of buyers just took a step back for the next week or two, that's your opportunity to get in and probably get a 1 to 2 to 3 to 4% discount off what you would have had to pay maybe 2 weeks ago. And this is all while we are just, the market update is, I need the 15 more days for the data, so don't quote me here, but we're 100% going to see a new high price point in Orange County. The median home price is going to hit above $1.2 million. I won't say anything until we have actual data from the month, but that's what we're going to see. We're absolutely seeing prices continue to increase. We will see this throughout the summer, and we're still seeing more inventory come into the market. So here's my overall kind of zoom back out. If you are in the market right now, I think this is a good time to step in and potentially get a little bit of savings if you're willing to take advantage of this few weeks here. Zooming back out, we're going to have another very similar year to what we saw last year. We're going to see normal supply and demand, meaning in the beginning of the year, it really ramps up. We're in the ramp up period right now. It's going to plateau, and then it'll dip off in the winter again as well too. If you're not in the market right now, there's just not a whole lot to really talk about. If you're thinking about making a move in the next couple of years, we're trending down with interest rates. Prices are trending upwards and then about the averages, 3 to 5%. So that's the overall. I wanted to ask about what you look at as far as experience. Would you rather hire the person with 30 years of experience that hasn't done anything in the last month or realistically in the last year, or hire somebody that has 3 years in the business that has done a deal every single day for the last 30 days, which, not that this is a brag or a show off or a flex, but we have closed almost 1 deal every single day in the month of, or we will rather, in the month of April. So that's kind of a cool thing because we've never done that before. But anyway, I hope you found this valuable. Again, this is just to help you make a better decision, whether you choose to buy, where you choose not, where you choose to move, if you're looking to sell, whatever you're looking to do. So if you want help with your next move, you can always go to allaboutoc.com, drop your information to join our newsletter if you're not already, and I will see you in the next video.